I'm not thinking about, I guess, the assistance or whatever. Like, oh my God, I need help, or I need the police to help. No, I'm not thinking about help like that. Usually, when I think about help, hi everybody. The thing that comes to my mind probably is, I think help, and then I think handouts equaling low points. So that may deter me for asking for certain help from certain people, I guess, or just asking for help, period. Because with me, sometimes I feel like when I ask for help, I'm asking for a handout or a crutch or something that I couldn't do on my own that I may need assistance with. And then that ties into pride. And I know a lot of you who know me, y'all probably already know, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, even Dragon Ball GT or whatever. And it's a character on there, fictional character. His name is Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans, where he wears that title very strongly, full of pride. He has so much pride. I've never seen any real person have this much pride, but this dude has all the pride. And sometimes that pride gets his ass whooped. But at other times, pride is something that defines character. It's not something that's always a bad thing, but sometimes when we have it and we place it in the wrong directions, that's when pride can become a bad thing. I'm not saying get rid of your pride, because you should always be prideful in the certain things that you do, the certain things that you accomplish, things that you set out in life, but don't have too much pride to where you can't ask for the things that you may need help with getting accomplished. It's not so much a handout that's equaling a low point. It's almost like, I guess you can say, like a life preserver, if you will. You may be too far out there in the water or whatever, and you may be tired, and your muscles may be aching, your muscles may be cramping, or whatever the case may be. You may know how to swim, you may know how to get to the end point or whatever, because you got to where you were at in the first place. But sometimes you may need somebody to throw that life preserver to you in order to prevent you from drowning. And that's what I want everybody to kind of understand. Help is not something that is a downgrade, or it's not something that should make you feel like, if I can't do it, then nobody else can do it. It really makes no sense. I used to be the type to where if I needed help, especially with my parents, I would not ask my parents for help, because I felt like, I'm a man. I should be able to do this the way that I should be able to do it. If I need to go out and, do whatever I have to do to make whatever ends meet, that's what I need to do or whatever. And it would add a lot of stress. And I know this happens to a lot of fellas, because before GPS and waves were coming around or whatever, we wouldn't even ask for help for directions to anywhere. It was like, stop at the gas station, and it was like, nah, I ain't stopping nowhere asking for help. We just go get there, and then when we get there, it might take us 2 hours, but we go get there. I'm not going to ask for any help. That's when that foolish pride comes into place. Never have foolish pride, or never let your foolish pride get the best of you. Again, pride is something that is very necessary in certain aspects, and then pride is something where you have to kind of put to the back seat in certain aspects. And also with help, and it may not always be financial, it may not, and I know a lot of people, especially me, you always think that, if somebody needs some help, they need money or something, or if somebody hits you on the text and be like, man, bro, I just need to talk to you, I need some help with something. A lot of times people, the first thing that they go to in their mind is, this person needs, an amount of something from you or whatever, before you can even hear them out. And then that's what makes people feel like help is handouts equaling low points, because sometimes we won't even hear the help that somebody needs or whatever, and somebody just may need somebody to talk to or vent to, or kind of help them get out of a situation where they really can't get out of, and they just need that extra push or that extra speech of motivation to get them out of the hole that they're in. So instead of looking at help in a bad way, which again, to me, I'm talking about acronyms or whatever, handouts equaling low points, try and look at help in a good way. especially if it's something where it's going to benefit you in the long run, something that it's going to really either change your life or put your life in the direction that you need that change. So look at help as healing, evolving, leading, and then progressing. Because if you look at it like that, it won't feel as shameful in your mind or whatever for asking for the help, because it's about progression, it's about evolution, it's about getting to the point where you need to get to. If you know you need help, why are you scared to ask for help? Or why are you letting your pride get in the way, and then you sit in the same spot that you've been in for even longer, just because all you had to do is use the tools that was around you, and then you could have gotten to a point where you wanted to be much faster than trying to do everything all by yourself, thinking that, hey, I'm not going to ask anybody for anything because I don't need anything and I've made it happen before and I can make it happen again. It's very, very ignorant sometimes to think like that, because everybody needs help. And we don't call on the right people for help. Sometimes we always look for help in the wrong places, whether it's materialistic, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, thinking that that type of stuff is going to drown out the problem that we may need to face and everything. And all that does is add to the problem, make the problem worse, and it makes it go away for a few hours, but then it comes back even stronger after the feeling is gone that you tried to smother the situation with, by drowning it out with other things that you shouldn't be using as far as help is concerned. I have a lot of pride. I think I come from a family of men who are completely prideful. We don't like asking for anything. We just go out and do it, or we try to go out and do it, and then we end up stressing ourselves out to the point to where high blood pressure, anxiety comes in, and things like that. If you have tools around you that's going to help benefit your life, it's a reason why those tools are around you. God placed those tools around you so you can get the help that you need. And if you don't use those tools, then you're going to stay in the situation longer than you're supposed to be. And God can probably be trying to move these tools around, show you something, show you who that person is that could possibly help you get out of a situation or get out of a rut or whatever. I give you an example. You ever hear when people be like, oh man, you ran across my mind today and I don't even know why, but something just made me feel like I needed to call you or whatever. And then in that moment in time, you're thinking like, man, I kind of did need somebody to call me and kind of talk me through or be here with me to support me through something that I'm going through. That's God putting that tool in your life, in your face, telling you, hey, you have something here that you can use. Other than me, you have something here in the physical that you can use. And then while you're turning to me as well, I'm going to put those extra little things around you to help you get to where you need to be, to help you get over the hump that you're in, to help you make the right decision that you need to make, to help you progress in life and to go forward and to become fruitful the way that God intends us to really be. We just have to use the tools that are around us. And a lot of us here, a lot of us in the world period have gotten to the point to where we can see the tools around us, but we just don't want to use them because we're too prideful. We think the negative out of every situation, and we never put the real positive aspect on everything. Like if you have, for example, if you're sitting in a job that you really hate, you hate like crazy to death or whatever, and you're trying to get out of the job is physically, mentally, emotionally draining you, and it's just something that's just literally like killing your soul or whatever, and you have a family member that's over HR and or something like that, something to that level or whatever, and you sit back and you sit there and you endure the pain and the suffering or whatever, when all you had to do was pick up the phone and ask that person that you already know, hey, you think is there any positions over there? You know, let me shoot you my resume real quick. And that person might be like, yeah, I don't know why you didn't call me earlier. I could have been helped you out with this. I knew you hated your job or whatever. You just never said anything. And that goes back to the old saying, closed mouths don't get fed. Because If you're sitting there and you're struggling or whatever, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be people that's gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey man, you need some help with such and such. What's going on, bro? Let me try and help you out real quick." No, you're gonna have to open up and say something for somebody to know. We are not transparent. We can't expect people to think that they can pick up on our feelings and be like, "Hey, let me go on and offer you help," when all you had to do was sit there and ask for it. So again, instead of thinking as help as always being bad, instead of thinking as it as being a crutch, something that you have to rely on, or anything like that, get away from thinking that help is handouts that equals low points in your life, and get to thinking that help is going to be something that's going to help you heal, evolve, eventually lead, and then progress yourself and maybe someone else to the point to where they need or you need to be in life. And again, don't let pride get the best of you, man. It's good to be prideful sometime in certain situations, and sometimes you have to kind of step back and take that pride away, and just kind of humble yourself and let somebody bless you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people push blessings away for some reason because they don't want to seem weak, or they don't want to feel like, oh, this person's going to talk about me to such and such or whatever. Get those type of thoughts out of your head. Quit worrying about what other people are going to say. Quit worrying about other people's perception of you, or whatever the case may be, because everybody has an opinion. Everybody is going to have their own opinion, and everybody's going to share their opinion before you needed the help, or before you were at your lowest or at your highest. And then when you get to wherever you're going to, people are still going to have some type of opinion. But opinions are opinions. Facts is facts. If you know what it is, if you know what you're doing, if you know how you're leading your life, and you know where you're trying to go and everything like that, it doesn't matter that you need help or you asked for help from this one person, because one day that favor may have to be returned, or you're going to get to the point to where this person really helped build you into something that you thought that you never could be before in life. So use the help that you have. Use the tools that are around you. It's very, very important that we start thinking less about negativity and thinking more about positive stuff. You always have to think, and a lot of us think first the negative aspect about it, but you always have to weigh your pros and your cons at every level. And most of the time your pros are going to end up outweighing your cons, but you're sitting there and you're thinking the wrong thing the whole time. So you're letting the negativity get the best of you, and you're thinking, I might have 2 or 3 cons here that really bother me or really get on my nerves. So instead of doing what I need to do and seeing these 13 or 14 pros versus it, I'm going to take these 3 cons that I hate the most, and I'm just not going to deal with it. That's called ignorance. That's called reverse growth. You're not trying to grow. You're trying to regress, and that's not what we need to do in life. We're trying to sorry about that, got a call. We're trying to get to somewhere where we can be better, where we can be fruitful, where we can show our children the right way to live and the right way to be. It's nothing wrong with getting the help that you need sometimes. It's nothing wrong with using the tools that you need to get to where you need to be. So with that being said, I'm going to go on and end it today. You know how I always end it: God first, family second, everything else will follow. If y'all have any suggestions, anything y'all want me to talk about, let me know. I'm trying to put together a lot of different things with the Midweek Pickup, so be watching, let people know about it. If you think that people, if this is something that people need to hear other than yourself, and you think you need to hear it too, let other people know. My page should not be private, so you can come on here at any time and get the Midweek Pickup or whatever you need, any type of inspiration, because I'm here to give it. That's my spiritual gift God gave to me. I'm going to use it to my fullest advantage. Now that I'm getting to a point to where I know that I'm supposed to use it, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to try and use it to the fullest advantage, because if I'm put here to help people or help their spirits grow or whatever the case may be, I'm going to do the job that God gave me, and you should do the same. So again, don't be afraid to use your tools that you have. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need help. And